What is up, everybody? It's your boy Corn. I know it's been a minute, but guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Got somebody over here with me. I got Big J, who we also do contemporary comrades with. So make sure y'all go over there, hit that like and subscribe over there, but also hit the
For
like and
sure.
subscribe over here as well.
For
Big J,
sure.
what's up, man?
What up, man? Thanks for having me on again, man. It's been a while, man. I ain't casted in a while. I ain't done none of that in a while, man. Hey, look, it's good to be back, man. Watching a great show, interesting season, which we're gonna get into because this is going crazy. The writing's going crazy. We'll get into this, but yeah, man, it's good to be back for sure.
Bruh, we got to talk about it, man. Like, so I mean, we've been talking for a few minutes before we started hitting record, man. And let me tell you something. From Amira to Aunt Viv and her friends and Aunt Viv, and you get to the Erica situation too. That whole fucking
Bruh.
thing. We
Jeffrey
got a
and
lot
his
to
son.
talk about, bro. Jeffrey and his son. Shout out to the actor that plays his son, Cyborg,
Facts.
from Doom Patrol.
Facts.
Great actor. But yeah,
Yeah,
Jeffrey
man.
and his son, Will, and his whole love triangle. Like, dude, we got a lot to talk about. Carlton and
And then the swinging and bro, it's a lot of shit.
yes, that was the
It's a lot
big
of
turn
shit.
of events of this entire show. Not even the season, the entire show, and the way that we kind of look at least me. I can't speak for you, but at least me, the way I look at the characters of Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil now. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And how the one of the scenes in the last episode too, because what Aunt Viv and what she might have had discovered and shit. You remember that?
Oh man,
Yeah.
yes.
Hey, look, hey, whoever wrote this motherfucking shit, man, whoever wrote this joint, look, look, man, hey, what you want to get into first, man? What you want to get into? You want to get into
writers barely disguised fetish. Is some parts of this show. I'll say that. Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Where do you want to start at? I mean, we can even get into Hillary and Jazz and another love triangle. Hillary, Jazz, and what LaMarcus.
LaMarcus, yeah.
And now LaMarcus is what, dead?
I mean, they don't. You don't know, but they. Well, I guess I ain't gonna say that, but they leave off.
I gotta
he's
say
unresponsive. You know what I'm saying?
I was hoping that Jazz was gonna be the one to interrupt the wedding. Like, I was hoping that when they said, if there's any, obviously, is there anybody, say something now, blah, blah, whatever. I thought Jazz was going to come out there, hey, baby girl, I love you, blah, blah, whatever. And LaMarcus being the kind and nice guy he is, I do like that character. He kind of grew on me. I'm kind of mad that they killed
that's fair, yeah.
But, I mean, he is kind of a little simpish, though. But I like the fact that they didn't make him like an asshole. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
I was really hoping that Jazz was going to interrupt the wedding, but he didn't. That one really.
The only reason I didn't think he was going to is because when he gave her the ring back. Well, so I guess we should preface this by basically LaMarcus was getting ready to marry Hillary, and Hillary couldn't get Jazz out of her head. They ended up kissing at a party or whatever after she was engaged and everything like that. They went over to Jazz. She went over to Jazz's crib, chilled, spent the night. They was smoking weed and all that shit, chilling together, big chilling. They didn't kiss or smash or anything like that, but they had a little whatever. She spent the night, and then she left, lost her ring. Turns out it was in Jazz's shoe. He goes and heroically brings it back to her the day, like right before the wedding. Then LaMarcus sees him, and then it all comes out. And then then we get to where we're just saying I'm for my reason why I didn't think he was going to interrupt the wedding. And I would say that's because he asked, he's like, are you actually happy? He's like, you look happy. Are you happy? She was like, yeah. So, but I think if she had said nothing or I don't know or whatever, I think he would have interrupted it. But I think he was like, you know what? I got me a girl too. Like she really riding for this nigga. Like whatever. That because that's how he kind of was. He was like, you really love this nigga? Like you really love this motherfucker? Like, and she was like, I do, but I love you too. I was like, bruh.
and you know what? Kudos to the writers on this part because I thought that I thought I was going to be very predictable, and she was going to say no. And I
Right.
thought
I
that
did
Jazz
too.
was gonna run out. I was like, "Oh, it's gotta be the moment he's gonna run out." He didn't, and I was like, "Oh
Right.
shit, they're actually getting married." And then all of a sudden, that bomb drops. Right,
Right.
Marcus is sitting there dead, or at least unresponsible. We don't know if he's dead, but I just automatically assume he's dead because that's the only way they're gonna get Hillary to
Yeah.
Jazz now
Yeah.
that she's married, technically married.
Yeah.
So,
And I guess some background on that too. Like he had a fucking DeMar Hamlin incident on the football field,
oh
and
man,
you know what I'm saying, and had the heart issue on the field and passed out and shit. Fell
and
out.
he already had the injury. That's the thing.
Right. Right. And he already had the injury.
Oh my gosh, man. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah,
Yep.
how do you feel that they put that in there?
That was kind of wild, man. And the fact that his dad was like not even like in the his like Lamarcus's dad was just like, all right, when we gonna get you back on the field, son?
Yep,
Like nigga, you
yep.
tripping for real? Like, come on, bro. Like he just went into cardiac arrest on the field. You talking about something? He gonna be back out there soon.
Dude, it sounded like a swamp monster, man, instead of a dad.
So yeah, so it sounded to me like they rushed his whole healing shit. And then when
Yeah,
he fell out the second time, they were drinking mimosas in the morning. You remember that?
yep, yep.
He was like, all right, just one more mimosa. And she went to go make that shit and came back and he was done, bro. So like, I think they wrote it very interestingly because it sounds like he thought it was more serious than it was, but he was in denial.
Yeah.
But especially because of his dad and all this image he's trying to uphold and shit on his end, he was kind of like, nah, it's kind of like I
And
assume
you
like
could
I don't
kind of
know,
tell
I
they were
agree with
doing it too
emotions.
because if you look at the way they specifically pan to his face longer than they
Yep,
usually do throughout the season to show his
yep,
reaction of like every time Hillary would say something, and you would see him kind of like his eyes wander off, where he's like,
yep.
I really don't know if I should be doing this, or I really don't know if I should be going along with this. And because remember when they were
Yep.
sitting down at the table, going over the wedding, I think it was like wedding cakes or something like that. And then Haley had this bright idea. I think it was no the food, and they were sitting there with the lady, and they were going on like the kind of food I guess they wanted for the wedding. And he's just
Uh-huh.
sitting there, man, like you could just tell with his eyes, like they specifically pan right over to his face where he's like, I'm questioning
I don't know
everything.
about the like did I
Oh,
fuck up? Yeah, but
so
then was it before or after that he rushed the wedding? So like they had planned to get married and then he fell out and then he rushed the wedding.
no, so it was they remember they I think it was they had that talk, right, where she said that maybe I think she was questioning whether they're moving too fast or something like that. No, they said they were calling off, remember?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
And then that's when he came back, like all of a sudden
Yep.
was like, yo, instead of us calling this joint off, let's just do this right now. And then that's when
Right.
they ran, did the whole thing. And I was, it's a funny thing, and just me coming from the kind of family that I come from, and maybe it's just like I don't know. Again, we're just talking about television, so uh, of course it's not going to be real life. I get it, but don't you kind of find it odd that Uncle Phil agreed for them to get married so fast the second time? Because remember, they were planning the whole wedding thing. Of course, they agreed to that
Mhm.
before. I think that was what at the end of season 2 or at the beginning of this
I,
season.
so I
Um,
think it was the beginning of this season. Yeah.
this season, right? So, of course, I mean that wasn't really that alarming to me that Uncle Phil agreed to that, whatever. But the second time where he was like, "Let's rush and do it right now." Am I the only one that kind of found it odd that Uncle Phil? Because remember, Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv came from around the corner when Lamarcus said that to her,
Right.
and
Like
because
yeah,
he
like
did that at
they
her crib.
decorated the whole crib or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm and like when Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv came around the corner, I'm like, I don't know many parents. I mean, again, he's an NFL player, so I guess most parents would in that situation with an NFL player, where it's like, okay, we kind of get it,
Like yeah,
to get
okay,
married
whatever.
so damn fast. Yeah, I don't know. That was just a little nitpick I had of that whole
Yeah, no,
situation.
I actually didn't think about that, but it makes sense. Uncle Phil's all very calculated and stuff like that, so it
Yeah.
makes sense. But I mean, he had fucked with him since day one. Remember, I think wasn't he the one that introduced them, if I'm not mistaken, in season 2, was it?
Yeah, that was season.
Season
Was
one or
it season,
two?
yeah, I think it was season 1.
I think
Yeah,
he was introduced in season one. Damn,
yeah, I think so.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right.
Because remember, it was like towards the end, and they had that whole again, all that shit just runs together to me. Like season 1 and season 2 run together to me. Just
Wait, no,
because
I
season
think he came
3,
in season two.
even season 2. Okay,
Yep,
because
yep.
Uncle Phil did introduce them, but remember they had already dated before, so they already knew each
Yeah,
other.
he came in season two. But what? Say it again.
Because remember they had already dated each other
True. Okay.
before
Oh,
the
that's
show,
right. That's
like
right.
before the events of the show, and
That's
so
right.
they yeah, so Uncle Phil I guess reintroduced them in season 2.
That's right.
Uh,
That's exactly what it was. So
yeah.
for that, I guess it makes sense that he didn't really give a shit, but he probably been like, well, okay, all right, like,
Hey, how old is Hillary in the
all
show?
right, yeah, all right. It's like, no. How was Hillary in the show?
Yeah.
I thought my guess is like she's like mid-20s in the show
Okay.
because Carlton and Will are 17, 18. I think they're like
Mhm.
17. Ashley's about to be in high school. Yeah, so Hillary's got to be like, mid-20s at the most. I would think but I don't know. She could be older because like she had the whole social media thing going for a minute. Remember?
Yeah.
And lived in that
Yeah,
influencer
that is
house in
true.
season 2 and all that shit. So
That is true. Okay. Okay, never mind. I
yeah,
can see that.
I'd say probably between 23 and 27 would be my guess.
That's a big range, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, shit, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I see it. I see it.
They don't really say that's she's like the one they don't really say that you can get an age on. You know what I mean?
True. But
They said make sure Ashley be going to high school. They said that in the show, and then they also said that Carlton was 17. So, which speaking of Carlton, can we talk
yeah.
about Carlton, bro?
I was gonna ask you if you wanted to get into Carlton and Amira specifically.
Yeah, we
How
might as well.
do you want to dive into this one? Because I want to go
Shit.
I specifically want to go the route of Amira. The character of Amira was set there to just set a huge bomb on every single plot point of this entire season.
Yeah, I'd agree.
From Carlton's addiction to the Will and his whole love triangle. Because remember, every single time, am I okay? By the way, I saw myself kind of.
You good. You recovered. Yeah, you recovered.
All right, all right. I
Am
just
I
want to make sure I'm
okay?
good. All right. So
Yeah.
what I was saying was, yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay, all right.
Every single time that Will and Jackie and Lisa were together, it was always Carlton and Amira too. And every single time there was
Yeah,
some tension there, they would always give Amira some fucking dialogue to where you're like,
yeah, yeah.
we've all known that chick to always have something to say about everything in every fucking situation when they know good damn well they shouldn't be even in that conversation.
Yeah,
So
not even fucking with what they're saying. Yeah, yeah, that's
yeah,
facts.
yeah. So I'm like, all right, I kind of see where the writers are going with Amira and putting her in this whole show. And every single situation, she's kind of being this. And dude, at the very end of this season, where we had
Yep,
Carlton and Lisa and Will finding her in that pool, and then
yep.
also finding the coke and everything, it's just like
It was Coke,
they
by the way.
keep, yeah, they keep honing in on this whole drug addict storyline and trying to put this fucking character. Not, I wouldn't say characteristic, but put this on Carlton's personality in the show. And I feel like I want to go back to what I was saying in season 1, where we had that review, and I kept saying, I don't know about not just the casting of Carlton. I don't know about the character of Carlton in general for
Yeah,
this show. It is absolutely like every single time I'm like, oh man, maybe I was wrong. I really like because there's times where I'm like, man, I actually like the character Carlton. I like what they're doing
at
with it. I like
times.
what they're going with Carlton. And then soon as I say that, the very next episode is some dumb shit.
Yeah,
Some shit where it's like, oh, of course they would fucking do this. Of course they would put Carlton in this situation. From the gay dude to Amira to now connecting, this whole like, am I good?
Or am I good? I look like I left too.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good.
You're good now.
Yeah, but from the whole Amira situation, to the gay dude at the meet or whatever, I'm like, look, whatever y'all are doing with Carlton, please stop it.
I
Stop
agree.
it. Seize
I
it
agree.
all. Whatever y'all had written for season 4 for Carlton, get rid of it and start back over.
Yeah,
Please.
Carl's getting super messy, man, and like they
Bad.
they transformed his
It's bad.
addiction from the pills or whatever the fuck he was snorting to now it's Amira. And so like he does the same shit with her that he was doing with the pills and shit that he was snorting. Where it's like, oh, you can't do this to him. What did you say to Amira? It's your fault, Will, that Amira jumped in the fucking pool to to bring attention to herself after she got outed. It's your fault, Will. You know what I'm saying? Like that dumbass shit. Like that. I don't know. Like you said, there's times where you're like, man, Carlton. Like I kind of fuck with that character,
Yeah.
and there's other times where it's like, dude, like you, whoever wrote this shit, man, like I don't know. He's a drug addict through and through, bro. Like,
And it's fucking insane they went this route
like
because think about this. And not to cut you off, but the dynamic that they
yeah,
had for season, like that every single relationship and dynamic that they had for the original Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, they kept in this show. The characters are different,
yeah,
yes, but the dynamic of the characters and the relationships have always been the same until
yeah,
now.
yeah.
And it's like, and you go back to season 1 where they touched on the addict thing. You're like, oh man, I really hope they don't go the whole mental illness. Then he claimed that he was the anxiety, and the anxiety is the reason why he does the drugs. And I'm like, what the fuck are they doing with
Right,
Carlton? And then we get
right.
to this season, and now it's look. I don't want to jump the gun because they didn't do it. At least they didn't pull the trigger in this season with him and the gay dude at the therapy
You're
session
right.
at the
Yep.
AA or whatever it's called. What do they call those meetings? Not AA because it's not
Uh,
alcohol.
I don't know. Druggies Anonymous. I don't fucking know. Just
Drugs
rehab
Anonymous.
in general.
All right, yeah, I guess
Rehab
rehab.
meetings. Yeah.
Yeah, rehab meetings or whatever. Wellness
Stay sober
meetings.
meetings, whatever.
But whatever those meetings are, the gay dude there, they put that dude there specifically. They made him have those fucking mannerisms specifically. When
Yep.
Carlton, they had Carlton of all the people, Carlton, and this is another thing I hated too, because I know that him and Will were going back and forth, but you go back to the original Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Carlton always had Will to talk to, even when they were quote unquote beefing or
That's
had
true.
their whatever,
That's true.
their bouts or whatever, right? Their
That's true.
differences.
And in a way,
Why
they
the
still do though. But
yeah, but
it's go
why
ahead.
the fuck? Please tell me, of all people, why the fuck would Carlton call this dude and talk about all his life issues, bro?
Damn,
Have this dude to be a shoulder to cry on.
that's a good point.
That is my complaint to the writers too.
That's a good point. and
That
and
that that and the whole Viv and Uncle Phil thing, which we're gonna talk about in a
yeah,
minute,
we'll get
but
to that.
those are my two biggest fucking gripes
Dang,
about
that's a good
the
point.
writing on this season. It's like you're looking at the Carlton that we had, and yeah, people were saying, of course, we had people back then in the day like, oh, Carlton was never masculine, and okay, you can make that argument. I'm not gonna fucking debate it, but at the same time, they never made him gay. At the same time, they
Yeah,
still
yeah.
at the end of the day, he was still his own character, and we all still loved him. I don't know if I love Carlton on Bel-Air. I just got to say that.
That's fair. I can say the same. Do I like the character? Yeah. Do I love the character? Probably not, man. Probably not, man. I mean, you make a good point though. I didn't even actually think. I mean, I thought of it from the perspective of like, what are they trying to load up with Carlton here? Because, I don't know, like they said the gay dude who was the leader of the meetings. Yeah, the fact that he called him and they sat on the bench, and I mean, it was nothing between them. Like they weren't really doing, like they weren't even sitting close together. But
Yeah.
it was just like the whole principle of it. Like when usually, even in past seasons of Bel-Air, Carlton would have talked to Will or something about what he talked to him about. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I thought that was interesting because it was about a chick. You know what I'm saying? It was about a mirror. It wasn't about Will or anything having to do with Will. So
Facts.
I did find that is actually interesting.
Facts.
My thought is they probably just did that because they wanted to have. And there's a lot of representation in this season. If we'll put it that way, of all,
Yeah, I mean,
sorts of thought patterns and thought processes and ways of life in this season.
Explain that I'm just a black man.
So
I had to, man. I had to.
Yeah. I don't blame that shit was hilarious. Yeah, there's all sorts of representation and inclusion in this season. So I mean, we got the gay dude who isn't you didn't see him walking around with dudes, but obviously he was gay, had his nails painted, all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got the swingers,
legs crossed.
legs crossed. Then you got the swingers. They're represented. You know what I'm saying? They got all kind of shit going on in this motherfucker. Then you got the non-binaries represented.
Oh my God.
With Ashley, but is he really non-binary? I mean, because that's the whole thing too. So you got all the representation in this season, bro.
It's bad.
Just for sure.
Look, I'm not saying the show's bad or anything. I'm just saying like the situation is just bad. It's bad.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I still think the show's good. I still think it's
Yeah.
Watch season 4 for sure. But
yeah. Again, I'm not saying the show. I'm just saying the situation.
Oh yeah. They're doing a lot of remix. I mean, obviously the show is a remix, right? But they're even remixing the remix at this point.
Yeah,
so,
because they're becoming unrecognizable and in a bad way. It's not like it's like, Carlton could, because the way they pitched this show to, I don't know the way Will Smith pitched this show to the other producers and to Peacock and NBC or whatever, to the people who already fucking own it. But the way they presented the show to us and pitched the show to us as the audience was that this is a remix of what I think they tried doing a serious version before they did the comedic version, like before, not necessarily comedic, but before they did the sitcom.
Oh, okay.
But they wanted to go with sitcom, and then that's when they got Will and blah, blah blah whatever, and that whole thing formed.
Okay.
But I think this was the original idea, was to be like a more serious type kind of show. With that being said, you're still saying you're remixing these characters, but they're still these characters, because why else would you name these characters the exact same names, put them in the exact same fucking city, have pretty much Uncle Phil doing the exact same thing, except he's not a judge yet. He's just a
pretty
lawyer.
Much, yeah.
But you got to be a lawyer. You got to be a lawyer to be a judge. So we kind of know where that's going to go.
Right.
So
right.
I mean, I'm not saying it needs to be predictable, but why go this route, especially with Carlton, where you already had the whole, not me, but I'm saying a lot of people, obviously, you look at the character and you're like, is he all right? He's not, but they never said he's gay. They never put him in that kind of situation for him to even do that. So it's just weird to me that they're doing that now. And then now you go with the Amira route, and then with leading all the way back to drugs again. Carlton has the anxiety. He's got the drug addiction, which leads to the drug addiction.
Mm-hmm. Which then produces more anxiety, mind you.
Well, yeah, which produces more anxiety, which now you're starting to see he's starting to have self-doubt a lot. But I do like that scene where it showed that he overcame it, where Will was fucking up on stage when they're presenting their product.
Yes, that needed to happen. Yeah, that needed to happen.
And I was like, oh man, they really gonna fuck this up and blah blah. Which, I mean, to an extent, I would like to kind of see that storyline. But whatever. Although, shout out to Vic Mensa, man.
Vic Mensa did his thing here.
Yeah. But I'm like, man, we got to get over that fucking storyline, man. We gotta like get them back in school or something, man.
You don't like the black sis?
Explain that I'm just a black man.
Don't we already get enough of that on the show with the every other fucking episode? I'm like, how many times y'all gonna celebrate Juneteenth? Like, God,
Oh shit!
like, shut the fuck up already.
Yeah, my bad. No, you got me on that one. But yeah, no, you're right.
No, but I mean, again, I'm not trying to trash that storyline, but I'm just saying I'm not over a storyline. I get why they did it. I get they had to kind of intertwine the whole Jackie thing with her helping them, trying to build it, and then them, because I do like the ties that they did. They tied in the Jackie storyline in there with there. They tied in Jazz's storyline too, because with him losing his record shop or almost losing his record shop. So
yeah,
I do like the tie-ins with that, and I like the clash that they had with Uncle Phil. I fuck with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Do we want to get into? I know we're jumping around, but I mean, obviously, there's so much to talk about. We're going to have to jump around. So,
yeah.
do you have anything more to say about the between Carlton and Amira, and anything revolving Carlton?
So, what was it? There was one thing I did want to say. Was one more thing. I'm trying to think. Do you think that? All right. So we didn't get into Amira lying to Carlton about the sister thing, which was the whole reason why she used for, was it relapsing or whatever?
Yeah, it was relapse.
Or no, it was for missing the dinner and shit for her relapsing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because she showed up late. She showed up late to the dinner, and then all right, I knew this bitch was lying. See, it's not. I deal with a lot of crazy bitches. I've dealt with a lot of crazy bitches in my lifetime. So I knew this bitch was lying, bro. So she shows up late. And then she puts on this face like, as soon as she sees the mom, she puts on this face like, oh, it's just I lost the picture. Because remember, Carlton saw her first.
Yep.
And what did she say when she saw the Carlton? She was like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry I'm late, something, whatever. But as soon as Aunt Viv came walking in, is when she started busting out
the
crying.
face on. Yep.
And that's when I was like, oh, this bitch is lying.
Yep.
I said, this bitch is lying, bro. Holy shit. And then we go to my bad. Go ahead.
No, you got it.
No, I was gonna jump ahead to where she was passed out in the fucking pool.
Oh yeah, well that led into I think did Lisa find her stash after that or before that? I can't remember.
No, that was way before that. Because she found like 2 episodes before that, or maybe an episode before that. Because remember her and Will were plotting on
That's right.
On who are they going to talk to? Either her or Carlton. I think they were plotting on talking to.
Yeah.
And then that's when that whole thing blew up because Carlton found out because Amira ran into Will before she was supposed to run into Carlton.
So Carlton,
and then
that's
Carlton checked Will's phone.
And saw the message. What did you do, Amira?
I was like, nigga, why are you looking at his phone? Like, you could look
and why ain't got this shit on
and tell him that his joint is going off without looking at his text. I was just like, come on, y'all. Like, he could have.
Yeah, the way they did that shit, I was
like,
like,
had to find out. I get that he had to find out, but I could have did it in a less messier fucking way, man. Like, yeah,
right. And him looking at his phone, like he was like, "What did you say to Amira?" My sweet Amira, what did you say to her? This man was like, I need her.
I need her too. Here's another thing. Can I say this?
Yeah.
Why? All right. So if we're gonna do the remixing of Carlton, right? Just hear me out. Why are we still gonna keep Carlton as like sensitive? If we're gonna remix every fucking thing else, why are we keeping him sensitive and even more feminine? Why?
Well, it goes together, right? It goes together.
Why not make him a fucking badass, or not even a badass, but why not make him just tough? Thick skin.
Because he was, I guess this whole thing, he was coddled as a, growing up. He's an anxiety laden drug addict who was also like can't manage his emotions, and I mean it all goes together. That's how they're writing. I mean that's Carlton. He's an anxiety ridden drug addict who can't manage his emotions.
And now we got Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil are now swingers. What the
Yo, yeah,
fuck
yeah,
are we watching?
bro. Who the fuck would have thought that was gonna happen? Raise your hand if you thought Phil and Viv were gonna be swingers in the third season of Bel-Air. And we ain't talking goddamn at the park.
Dude, of all things they could have projected on this fucking show, I never would have guessed this. I never would have
Nah.
guessed it.
No. Mm-mm. And you notice when they had that scene, they went to this little retreat thing with some and saw some other couples they know there. They were chilling. One of the other couples was already swingers. They pretty much asked them a bunch of questions and talked them into it the whole night. And at the end, when they went into the room, I don't know if you noticed, but Viv led Phil in there. Mm-hmm. It wasn't Uncle Phil wasn't like, let's go. Mm-hmm. They looked at each other. She looked at him, smiled, grabbed his hand, and walked his ass in there. And that's the only way that was going to happen because Uncle Phil's a real one. That's the only way that was going to happen.
Yep. And that's when I said, I don't know if they're going to make Uncle Phil worse after this.
I don't know, man.
Because what have I been saying, what I've been texting you almost every damn time I turn this damn show on is the writing for Uncle Phil.
Yeah.
He's the best writing. He's the best written character on this show.
By far.
Down.
By far.
Hands down. I'd say the next one would be Jazz. But and that's hard. That's debatable. But,
that is debatable. It's debatable.
But I got to give them credit where credit's due. The way they have done Uncle Phil, great, phenomenal,
top notch. Really.
However, storyline and the way you even described it, where yes, she led him into that room
with the other couple.
And they were pondering on it. But if you want to go back to even when they were at dinner and they were talking about it and they looked at each other, and you want to know what Uncle Phil did, if you want to go back and watch the episode where Uncle Phil, he looks at Viv like, you can't really tell whether he's saying these niggas crazy or what. He just gives him that Uncle Phil look like, okay. And then, but if you look at the way Aunt Viv looks back at fucking Uncle Phil,
it was her 22-year-old self looking back at him.
You know what I have in my notes right now? Viv's friends. Viv's friends.
Yep.
If you look at every single time Aunt Viv is with her friends in this fucking show, they're all bad influence. It's all like watching Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like it's so fucking
yeah, like, yeah, bro. That's a good point. Yeah,
it's an absolute headache to sit there and watch. And every single time they bring one of her friends around, and I'll sit there, I will listen to literally 15 seconds of dialogue, and then I just have to fast forward it, bro.
If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
Facts, though.
That's me. Yes.
I'm
just like, because after that episode where she's in the club and then that one friend shows up and they somehow didn't know she was going to show up. And then I see where Carlton gets his thin skin and sensitivity from. It's literally Aunt Viv, because she has zero fucking self-control. It seems like. No. They're writing her
very little.
So fucking gullible. But then it's like, of course she can't raise these fucking kids. Of course she's sitting there having a breakdown on her nephew Will when he's just like, hey, I want to reconnect with, my dad and blah, blah, whatever. I want to do this, I want to do that. And, I need help with this. And she's like, oh, we try to do this and we try. I'm sitting here like, Viv, you try to do what? Because 2 episodes ago, you're sleeping with another man. And your husband's is another bed with another woman. And he did that. Well, no, he wasn't in bed with Erica. But
right,
that whole Erica situation, you felt justified after he quote unquote cheated,
she kissed him, which is what she said.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, she kissed him, which I thought was a bitch move anyway for her to even tell if they act all guilty and shit. It's
like that, like something like that was hurting her conscience that fucking bad. Like, come on,
bro.
Like, you really that fucked up because you kissed him? She was just mad because he didn't want her. That's all it was. But that's another story.
Bro.
And that's the thing. The whole time, that's why I said Uncle Phil is a G, because the whole time, even though that happened, he didn't want no parts of her.
And he knew what he was going to lose. And out of love for his wife,
Yes.
the same wife who
Yes.
2 episodes later suggested they cheat on each other in front of each other with each other.
Yes.
That
Now
very
they didn't end up doing that, but they were all the way up to the point.
that
Two.
very episode. Well, not that very episode, but Uncle Phil even went as far as saying, "You know what? Out of love for my wife, I'm gonna cut all my clients off. She can have
Yep.
all the fucking business. I'm done with
Yep.
air
Yep.
because I'm not dealing with that shit." And
Yep.
what is the payback? What is the payback for that shit?
Hey, let's swing. on our weekend getaway.
Horrible.
Yeah, they wrote them.
She wants to freak out on Will, her teenage nephew, and break down and, oh, we tried everything with you. No, the fuck you didn't. Sorry. Yeah,
Matter of fact,
Will's
call your mom.
pull out your phone right now.
Pull out your phone. Yeah. You pull out your phone right now. What am I supposed to? You want to talk to? No, you are. I like then after that, Will went and apologized to fucking everybody for shit that really like wasn't his fault for real. Like, I mean, it kind of was, but it kind of wasn't. Like, sorry, but that Amir shit was not his fault, and you can't convince me otherwise.
Not at all. To be honest, I mean, I've never even been in that kind of situation, but to be honest, I do feel like the way that him and Lisa were going to handle the situation, they were going to handle it correctly.
Yeah.
Because
it just never got a chance to.
Yeah, like because they're trying to do it without avoiding. I mean, they were trying to do it, or they were trying to do it without conflict.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen.
Which with volatile people, I mean, you're dealing with volatile people. I mean, you got to really tread lightly.
Yeah.
Like Carlton and Amir both.
Yep.
Volatile as shit.
Here's the thing, though, and hear me out.
Jackie. All right. Jackie.
Jackie. That's all I gotta say. I really do hope they give her a bigger role season 4, though.
Yeah, they should. But I mean, it looking like she might be getting phased out for real.
Well, didn't she say oh no, damn, no, never mind, that's Lisa. Fuck. I guess they are phasing her out. Because I was gonna say, didn't she mention like a nephew or something like that? But that's Lisa. Lisa is the one that has the nephew or the little brother or something like that, right?
Yeah, she's got the baby brother or whatever.
Yeah, the baby brother. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess they are gonna phase her out, man.
Because she didn't show up in the last 2 episodes, did she? She wasn't in 9 or 10, I don't think.
Yeah, I just remember she wasn't in every single episode this season, like she was in season 2. But remember, her uncle is the basketball coach, so I guess that it would make sense that they would be phasing her out.
Right.
In many ways.
So she was only in 4 episodes? No way.
Yeah.
This season? Damn.
I felt like she was in at least a couple more than that, but damn, if she was only in 4 episodes.
That's what I thought. It says she was in Pivot, True Colors. It says she was in Pivot, True Colors, Getting Personal, and Black Lotus. I could have sworn she was in more episodes than that.
Damn, bro.
But I mean, she's been in the most episodes aside from the core cast.
Okay.
So you got Phil, Jazz, Lisa, Ashley, Hillary, Carlton, Jeffrey. They're all in. They all got 30 episodes, and Will, they all got 30. But Jackie's got 12.
Okay.
And everybody else got less than that. So
that's legit.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
I feel like they shouldn't phase her out, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I hate to see her go, but I let her watch her leave. That's all. That's all I got.
Shit, I feel you. But so that whole love triangle with her, Lisa, and Will. Will Do you want to get into that at all before we get into, or do you want? Were we still talking about Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil? You got anything else you want to say about them?
No, I really don't really have much to say about either one of those two, just because I'm just keep on praising Phil, the way they've done Uncle Phil, except for that one part of the storyline. And I just shitted on Aunt Viv's character and that whole thing, her friends and Erica. And,
He does have bad friends. Yeah, that's very true.
yeah,
That's very true.
I don't understand it, man, because it seems like they're writing her and Hillary kind of the same, except Hillary's
Not
not
the same.
as shitty as a person, but they're kind of leaning that way a little bit, or they were leaning that way a little bit before old dude got off.
Dude, Aunt Viv's a little messy, bro. And to be honest, she's done a little bit shadier shit than she perceived Uncle Phil to do.
Yeah. Remember, they had Michael Ealy show up in season 1, man. They don't have that nigga show up for nothing unless they know he about to seduce somebody. All right.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
We didn't even get into. We didn't even talk about. We didn't even talk about the cook seducing Aunt Viv.
Yep.
How she was saying she loved how he was undressing her with his eyes and all this and that, and she found him attractive and she wanted him and all this and that.
She was thinking about entertaining the idea of it before she found out about Uncle Phil and Erica. And then after she found out about that shit, she felt justified, like they do. That was predictable,
like typical.
Justified to have lunch with him. I do find it funny though. Uncle Phil didn't back down. Uncle Phil, he showed up.
Yeah, that's what I said.
He told Jeffrey, he was like, yo, his food wasn't all that. And then Jeffrey looks at him, he's just like,
that's
dude, I love the way Jeffrey on the show, dude. One of the biggest, I say, other than Uncle Phil, I wouldn't even say that's an upgrade. The pause on that, because obviously James Avery is the GOAT.
The Uncle Phil.
But if I were to say they upgraded in the show, any character they actually upgraded, they made me love to absolutely fucking love, is Jeffrey, man. I'm like, Jeffrey, the way they did Jeffrey and the serious tone, I'm like, I like this guy.
I like it. Yeah.
Guy, man.
Yeah.
And then they brought in the whole his fam, his son, then his ex-wife.
Yeah.
That whole thing. How do you feel about that situation with them bringing in the ex-wife and the son here? Because
I thought it was cool.
I can't remember if they did that in the original one, where I think they mentioned Jeffrey had a family.
The son stuff they did. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't remember the ex-wife stuff, but I do remember the son stuff.
Yeah. Because I remember they mentioning like a son, but I don't know. Did they ever show him?
I don't remember, honestly. It's like I can remember every single episode of the old Fresh Prince, but at the same time I can't remember like little details like that. So I don't know. I've seen that show so many fucking times.
Yeah, I haven't watched the show. Yeah, I say within the past 10 years I haven't watched it, but until then I was watching that show like crazy my entire time. So I get it.
Oh yeah, last time I watched it front to back was probably it was been within the last 5 years.
Yeah, because you would have that show on reruns when I'd be at your crib growing up.
Yeah. I've watched the fuck out of that show, but I can't remember that little detail. But so you asked how I felt about them bringing in the ex-wife and everything like that,
and the son.
I think it was a good moment of reconciliation. It shows that people can get over their differences and come back together. Like I fucked with how they kind of like was, like Carlton told him to go to the club and hang out and have a good time instead of worrying about shit. Mm-hmm. And then they went there and they reconnected. But so like that ended up working out for them, which was also a solid move on Carlton's part, which goes back to what we were talking about how sometimes you can love them, sometimes you hate them. But I would say that I liked his son kind of got on my nerves, low key.
He was a brat,
and also his ex-wife got on my nerves, low key as well. Especially towards the end when he was like, he's like, you can either tell me where that silver car behind us is, following us wants you to take me, or you can follow me. And then the bus went by and they were gone. Mm-hmm. So like, I don't know. I think it was. I just hate that there might be a slight possibility that the ex-wife only showed back up just to try and get him back into that like gang life shit, or like catch him up to that gang life shit. because that's what he fled to. That's the whole thing. Is that's what he fled to go down to L.A. and then
Yeah.
But no, I think it was a good thing that they brought him in. It sucks because it might mean that he's not with Phil and them anymore like that. But maybe it will because as we know at the very end, Will got kidnapped by the same people who was following Jeffrey.
Yeah.
While looking for Jeffrey. So,
Yeah. I almost,
that
I
was last
almost,
episode.
yeah, I almost let that one slip with Will getting kidnapped. I almost forgot about that one.
Yeah, man.
That's the big, I guess the big cliffhanger for season 4.
Between that, LaMarcus dying potentially,
yeah,
Aunt Viv pregnant, Will getting kidnapped, Amira going to rehab away from Carlton. I think that's all that they prefaced, and I guess whatever the fuck they're gonna do with Black Cess.
yeah. I think it's safe to say we could say goodbye to the Black Cess.
Yeah, probably so.
Oh my god!
I know you want to say goodbye to it, but yeah, you're probably right.
So let's get into Hillary and Jazz. All right, I think the way they've written Jazz, the character of Jazz, I would say probably my second favorite character. Obviously Uncle Phil is my first.
Yeah, I'm with you.
The way they've written this character and had that upgrade with him too, I got to put him up there with Jeffrey in terms of they didn't make him silly. They didn't, he's not super jokey around. Like he's still like an outgoing and fun character, but he's not like super, I guess comedic like the other Jeffrey. I mean, like the other Jazz was, where he's getting thrown out of the house and shit like that. Which I do feel like at some point that is going to happen. That's gonna happen at some point.
It's possible. That would be funny as shit if they threw him out the house. That would be funny as fuck. But it'd probably be in some serious ways. So I don't know if they would.
Yeah. like him getting Hillary pregnant or some shit like that. I don't know.
Right.
Or him just fooling around with Hillary after LaMarcus dies.
True.
I guess
which is still kind of a cliffhanger for now. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like theory right now, but
damn.
Yeah, it has the potential to be super fucking messy. A lot more messy now with old dude being offed. So
very.
But look, I like the romance. If there's any reason why I feel like I would like the Hillary character is to serve the purpose of the Jazz character.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, she was. I mean, I feel like. I don't know. I feel like she had a little more. Like, I don't mind. I don't mind her character either. It's just this season she kind of. It really just became her. She just became engulfed in the love triangle. Like last season, she was. She was the boss lady, entrepreneur. Social media star. Yada yada. They had a little bit of that in this, but this was more like preparing for the wedding, and then the love triangle stuff with Jazz and LaMarcus, and then LaMarcus getting sick and her having to be there with him. So it was like less of. They were doing less of the boss lady stuff. That took a back seat to inclusion in this season. Is the best way to put it.
Yeah, I felt like it was a little bit lazier. Maybe it's just because they had so much story they had to tell. But if
they had a lot of drama in this season, man, like a lot of drama.
Like if you think about it, within 10 episodes, which is why I hated the fact that they did this in only 3 weeks. Like, or was it 4 weeks?
4 weeks.
Like, fam. All the drama, like you could have cut out a lot of that Ashley stuff. Which
yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but Ashley's damn near like not even needed in the show.
Insufferable. But we're gonna get to that here in a minute. But, it's true.
Oh shit.
Shit. What was I gonna say? Damn, fuck! I lost my train of thought now. God damn.
That shit had me done when go ahead. You got
it. All right, so they could have cut out all the Ashley stuff and added more of the Hillary stuff because in season 2 and season 1 they dove more into the social media stuff, which maybe not, I might not have liked all that. Like every single bit of it, but at least it gave us a good look at how these people look at social media, first of all,
Yeah.
and social media managers. And again, pretty cool storyline. I fucked with it a little bit. It was way better than just like, oh, let's just write her into a love triangle. You know what I mean?
Yep. Excuse me. I know exactly what you mean. So where you said we're getting into Ashley now?
Well, before we get to Ashley, I don't want to forget about Will and his dad, Lou, right? So,
Lou.
all right.
Yep.
So
And his mom.
I don't remember. Yeah, and his mom, because remember they had that sit down. So
Mm-hmm.
I keep forgetting about this. Again, man, they group all this. If they stop doing this whole binge model BS, like, and I can just watch one episode a week, it would actually be a lot easier to remember because you're retaining it a lot longer. This whole like
That's fair.
dropping 3 episodes, it's just like I even forgot they had the sit down. Like him, the mom, and Lou. Like I forgot they even had that sit down. To
Yeah, there
me,
was a
I'm
lot.
thinking that's freaking season 2. But
I'm weak. It was
but
actually like episode 6.
damn, yeah, that was
Yeah.
like what 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago now. But
Yeah, at this point.
but the character of Lou, so they brought him back. I didn't think they were going to bring him back for season 2, which I mean for season 3, which isn't it kind of weird the way they even brought him back? Like, okay, he sees his dad at a fucking store, and he finds out he lives in the same city. Okay,
Mhm.
all right, I kind of see where you guys are going. Okay, cool. But then they go even further to where, okay, he was a former basketball player too, and so now Will doesn't want to play basketball, and now he's seeing like, okay, I'm bigger and better in basketball. But correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Will play basketball throughout his entire like time in the original show? Like, didn't he play in high school? Played in college? Or I guess the college that he went to, didn't he go to like a
Sort of.
community college or something like that?
Yeah, the Peacocks.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, the show's now on Peacock. I just put that together. I'm too weak. I just put that together. But yeah, he played. Yeah, when he played in college. Yeah, I guess he technically did. Yeah, but they didn't have as much like basketball footage in the old show as they did in this show. You know,
Yeah.
especially like season 1, season 2, they had a lot of basketball footage with Will. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think he did pretty much play all the way through.
And shout out to Nate. He says, "What's up, fellas? Let's get this dub."
I'm
What
weak. What's up, Nate?
Yeah. I do like the way they did the whole. All right, Will shows up at the barbershop, right, and they have that talk, that deep talk, right, and then he gives him that box.
Yeah.
He's like, "Look, fam. I get if you don't ever want to see me again, whatever. But here's this box." Will goes through the box. He sees the, all the, I guess memorabilia or things that his dad had that he wanted to give to him. Cool, I get it. But to have him quit basketball, now it's just what he's doing. What Black Cess? Look,
Black
man.
says, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't get it. But I will say, so the last time he saw his dad, that was when they had that sit down, right, with him, the mom, and him, with the 3 of them, right?
No, that was no, because after that, I think is when him and his dad actually played that basketball game together. Remember they were playing, they were doing a
Oh
one-on-one.
shit!
Yeah, so they
What
did a
what
one-on-one
episode was
joint.
that? That was
I know they said they had to sit down in episode 6 when
okay,
his mom came back to town and shit.
okay. So you think we're gonna see this guy again in season 4?
See Lou again?
Yeah.
Dad? Oh yeah, I think so.
Okay. Okay.
I do
Do
think so.
do you think it's one of those crash and burn type of things, or are they actually gonna do this fucking storyline justice?
Maybe
All
because it
once.
might be crash and burn because if you remember, his mom brought her
Oh,
boyfriend
that dude. Yep.
to Hillary's freaking wedding, and Will
Yep.
was like grilling him.
Yep.
He was like, yeah, cut the small talk. Yeah, so what? Like I'm very
Yeah.
protective, which
Yeah.
was totally a fucking Fresh Prince of Bel-Air thing. Like Will totally
Yeah.
would have done this shit back.
Yeah.
Like
Bring it back.
they do things with the characters where I'm like, I just get in flashbacks like that would happen in the old show. Like
Oh,
that,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what I be thinking about too when I watch it. I'm like, okay, I could see them doing that, and there are certain
For
aspects
sure.
too that they do, just like with the whole Will and Carlton. Like, I like when they had them type of beefs where they're beefing during the wrestling thing, right? When we be awkward,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
remember they had that exact same, not the exact same scene, but they had a scene just like that in the old one. Where
Yep.
they're sitting there wrestling and they're fighting and they're arguing because they beefing or whatever.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'm just like, I'm right there with you, man. Like when I'm watching some of these shots, I'm like, bro, they did do that in the old one. I could
Yep.
definitely see them. And if they didn't do it, I could definitely see them doing it.
They would have
Just
done.
like
Yeah,
that, but
they
in a
could have.
more
Yeah.
comedic, type of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air way.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah. Exactly.
man,
Yeah.
that's
More of a
just
Fresh
that's
Prince
just
way.
wild, man.
But yeah, I think Lou's going to come back in season 4, and I think that he's going to have some conflict because Will low key wanted his mom and dad to get back together, and he was
Yeah.
blown when she brought that other dude to the wedding
Yep.
because he
Yep.
was like, man, what the fuck? Because remember, his mom basically bolstered, she basically like fabricated the truth about his dad because we learned that Lou was like basically hustling to make ends meet,
Mm-hmm.
and
she was hounding him.
and she was hounding him, and he went to jail trying to literally trying to like keep the heat on in the house.
Yeah, literally.
Like that, like that's why he went to jail. So, but she worded it as if he was a piece of shit. He wasn't doing shit for the family. He wasn't doing shit for her or for Will, and didn't care about him and all that. When it turned out that wasn't the case at all.
And that's why I asked you that question of like, I do feel like maybe they won't go the whole crash and burn route just because
maybe not, but I don't see them getting back together.
Well, no. I didn't see them getting back together at all because I knew that if you had them two get back together, there's no Bel-Air.
I mean, that's true. That's true.
It's just like why is Will living in Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil? Both of his parents are back together. Of course, they wouldn't be no Bel-Air.
Relationship healed.
Yeah, I knew that wasn't gonna happen. Ain't no season 4, nigga.
Right.
Fuck y'all thought this was. We only got 2 seasons. We had to wrap this shit up. We done.
Yeah, my grandmother gave me that chain. What season 4?
Y'all think we got renewed? Hell no. They told us the day before we finished writing.
Right.
That's typical streaming for you.
For real.
But yeah, I mean, and again, Will's another great, well-written character, and the fact that they put Lou in there, the fact that they put his mom in there, which I keep forgetting her fucking name.
Yep.
But the fact that they have still both of his parents in his life, and him still having that connection and relationship with them, but while still being Bel-Air, and it's still being a Bel-Air show, and him having to live with because again, his mom still got to go back to Philly. She's only out there chilling for a little bit. She got the man with her. How do you think? Now, I know you said that you think it is going to crash and burn. I know you mentioned her and the old dude potentially. How do you think that's going to unfold, though? You think you insinuating that Lou's going to get involved with it, and then that's how it's going to be a whole crash and burn?
I feel like Will's going to have issues. I think he's going to try to push the issue one more time for his mom and Lou to talk more, either that or try and get back together or try and like mention it or something. I think he's going to try one more time. And I also think that he's going to continue to shit test his mom's new guy, and he's going to have to prove himself because all he was really doing was basically like, kissing her in front of him and holding her hand like little young nigga, like you better watch out. You know what I'm saying? You know the fuck you fucking with type shit. You know what I mean? So they definitely gonna go at it. Like he's going, try and test him some way, I think.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I think Lou will make a comeback because they had that one-on-one game and Will realize like where a lot of his talents come from and all that kind of shit, and like a lot of his interests that he didn't even realize came from, because that's what trauma does. Like you'll deal with trauma and you'll be told something one way for so long you'll forget the shit that you actually fucking experienced. And like clearly it wasn't the first time him and his dad had played one-on-one before, but he had forgotten all that history with him and shit. So I don't know. I think there's gonna be more. There's gonna be more to build there for sure.
And I feel like I'm making a bold prediction here. Will is gonna go back to basketball because of it.
I could see that being a possibility. Yeah, I can see that.
But obviously, he's not gonna play for the dude that look like Royce White. He's gonna play for the actual high school. So he's gonna go back. Obviously, play for the actual high school team.
Yeah, because they're coming up on their senior year.
Yep, with Carlton's boy. So
Yep.
I feel like that's going to be the whole thing. By the way,
Yep.
I don't think this is going to be the end of Black Sets because remember, now although Will's nowhere to be found, he's MIA, he's kidnapped, he's probably in Mexico by now. But
right.
at some point in season 4, I don't think that Black Sets storyline is going to go anywhere because remember, that dude that Carlton was beefing with in season 1 came back.
Yeah, and they actually
it's
decided
now
to make peace.
Yeah. Now I
Yeah.
don't know if that to me is 100% going to be crash and burn.
Well, see, Uncle Phil told him. He said, "Look, you need to stop. He said you need to stop. Basically making your business decisions off of emotion." And he was like, "If you can make money, you got to put that emotion to the side." And then they kind of hash it out. So we'll that's going to be a thing too. We'll see how that goes.
Moment, which again was a great moment. Both of those scenes were great moments.
Yeah.
And development for Carlton. But remember who this other guy is.
An ass wipe. So yeah.
And he comes out of nowhere when they got a business booming. And
Yep, exactly. Good point. Yeah, I don't think Black Sets go anywhere next season. And also, Carlton got he might have another in back to Harvard with it as well.
Yep.
Remember, because he was writing that whole like show your scars type of shit at the end.
Which I'm not a huge fan of it, but yeah.
And we know, yeah. Yeah. Say less.
I'm like, you give these niggas an and still take a fucking mile, man. But
for real.
Let's get into Jeffrey. Did we? Yeah, we didn't cover Jeffrey and his son though. Yeah, we did.
We did briefly. Yeah.
Let's get into Ashley and this storyline because
hey, dare I? And look, no disrespect, right? But she is damn near the most useless character on the show, in my opinion. I have to say it. I'm sorry.
Yes,
she is literally there to push an agenda, and that's it. She's there. Yep. She's there to fill a inclusion gap, and that's it.
Literally.
Like literally, that's it.
I mean, everything that is wrong with this generation, they've literally put into the Ashley character. But it's not even. They didn't even do it in a creative way. They're just like she's yelling out all these weird, like season 1, she said some slick shit like non-binary, whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
And then we're like, okay, but we haven't really seen enough of Ashley, whatever. season 2, you get a little bit more, and they're kind of easing it a little more of that weird shit in there, where now she likes girls and she's dressing all weird and shit.
Yeah,
and it's like, I don't know if I like this. Can I get a refund? Right. Then we get to season 3, and here we go in season 3, and Ashley's just full blown fucking SJW, the left of the left, like completely so far left away from her dad. Like, this is where I have the issue, is where the writers act like they don't want to show up to work, because it seems like to me this is a straight up lazy writing. Because you got her combating Uncle Phil on every fucking thing that he's telling her about. Then you have her pretty much acting like she doesn't even have a fucking dad. And you have a dad that's there for you, that's telling you no, and you're still... Now, I get that kids want to be rebellious. You have to write a rebellious kid. But there's certain
especially one that's about to go into middle school. Yes. Or sorry, about to go into high school.
And so when you do that, you should probably know how to write, or at least have a little bit of fucking experience, or even go off of a little bit of your own experience.
Yeah.
Going from middle school to high school and being, I'm pretty sure a chick wrote her role, or at least her dialogue.
Yeah, you can pretty much bet a chick or a gay dude.
Yeah. So it's like, can you give us like at least something a little more realistic and not just all this SJW talk and I'm non-binary, I'm lesbian, or maybe I like guys, maybe I don't know who I am. I'm only whatever the fuck. It's just like, fam, y'all got to stop. Then like it's just get rid of the character. Throw the character away, bro. I would just rather them not give us the Ashley character or have her be as silent or absent from the show as possible, bro. Like the only part that I liked of Ashley was the part where she was pressing Carlton in episode 1. That's it.
Yes. Yeah.
Because everybody was all hunky dory, like, oh, Carlton, hey, Dad, why did you lock up the alcohol? No, I'm sorry. That's not Carlton. This is Carlton. This is Carlton. Yeah, holy shit. He already got me started. This is Carlton at the party. Oh, not the party, but when he gets back from rehab and they show up at the house and he's sitting there and he's fixing his food and he sees that lock on the bear. He starts having fucking World War II fucking flashbacks. He's looking at he's
sad
like
kittens and bombs going off in his head and shit.
this nigga start turning into fucking Kevin Hart Jr. He's like, Dad, you got the lock on the alcohol. You didn't have to do that. He's and then Uncle Phil is like, it
was recommended in rehab.
Yeah, it was recommended that we do that. And I'm just like, bro, y'all gotta be shitting me with this stuff, man. Come on.
Took the doors off his room and everything. Took all the doors out of his room, bro. For like 2 episodes.
Yeah. I'm like,
if not 3 episodes, yeah.
So I mean, other than that, but to get back to Ashley, her pressing Carlton in episode 1, I thought was great because everybody at that table was acting like stepping on eggshells. They didn't want to step on eggshells, and they Ashley told them straight up, which is what
you actually better. Yeah,
which is shit that I have a little sister. There's just shit that she would totally fucking do. So
for sure,
I 100% get it. So she's like bullshit. Hey, fam, Carlton, what are you gonna fucking do to get better? What are you gonna fucking, like, why did you do what you did? All this other stuff, and stuff that everybody wants to ask him, and everybody wants to bring up to him, but they feel like maybe it's too early for whatever reason. They don't want to bring it up to him. And she's like, fuck that. I'm gonna bring it up because we need to know. So
what are you gonna do?
I fuck with that. She they made her real one in episode 1, and then as the season progresses, she gets rid of her friend, or I guess girlfriend, lesbian. I don't even fucking know at this point.
Yeah, because she was pressing on her mom and dad.
Yeah. So she gets rid of her white girl, and then she goes, and get this non-binary. How old is this dude? He's definitely older.
Maybe a year older than her, maybe. But I think they're maybe, or maybe a couple. I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's giving me like weird vibes just because of the way Aunt Viv is acting and Uncle Phil's acting. Because when they start mentioning what she's wearing, and again, they got her wearing some weird shit.
Weird ass shit,
bro. I'm just like, look, man. I'm not a fashion expert or aficionado or whatever fuck, so I stay off of that shit. But I'm just like, it's just weird. It's weird to me. That's all I'm gonna say. And they even, and it's weird because even Uncle Phil mentioned it, and they had him mention it in the fucking show. Where he said, "Yo, what did he say? Oh yeah, he said, "Oh, you need to change, young lady." And what the fuck did she say? She said some snarky ass.
Said, "I don't dress for your approval." She said, like, sorry, I didn't know because I know my own daughter ain't talking like that or some shit.
Bro, that when he did that, I was like, I just wish that like they would have just had somebody that like grew up in like that house, not that house, but grew up in that kind of house where it would be like he kind of put a little more pep in that, where it's like,
yeah, you don't get your goddamn. Who the hell you think you talking to?
Yeah, because I was like, bro, I'm like, ain't no way they had. I was like, I'm glad they had him. At least they had him say it. At least they had him react that way. At least they didn't have him take no shit.
Yeah, because look, Uncle Phil don't get disrespected, bro. That's one thing. Yeah. I mean, if he does, it's by Viv.
Yes. Yeah.
One person
on the show that should be disrespecting him is on Viv.
To be fair.
Again, I don't feel like he should be disrespected at all. But if there is someone that does, Aunt Viv,
it would be it would make sense to be her for sure.
Yeah, or Jeffrey if he needs to sometimes. But other than that, no. Hey, shout out to Erica Van VT says, "Hey guys, just popping in. Bel-Air season 3 was fire."
Hey, shout out to you.
It started out fire to me. That fire slowly burned out.
I still think it's fire. I think it's fire. It's got enough crazy shit in it for. I already ready for season 4. I'm already ready for season 4.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a
Big
show
time.
where I'm jumping on. I'm not jumping off ship or anything like that. I'm
No,
just
no, no.
I'm just to the point where I'm like I could kind of see where they're going with this shit, man. And
Yes.
so far with me and the shows that I watch, I called it with the power spinoffs, with the two power spinoffs that I called it with. I've called it with a bunch of fucking Netflix shows. This ain't no different, man. Unfortunately, I'm excited for Bel-Air. Don't get me wrong. I like Bel-Air. But at the end of the day, the way they're writing Ashley, what we're talking about right now, the whole non-binary character and all that, like they're doing that for a reason. Them, another child, another kid, they're having him now possibly be in another relationship with a dude. And
Yeah, who
while
was
while he's at his lowest fucking point,
true.
like
True.
where he's
True.
vulnerable, they're making him being vulnerable
True.
and him being in a relationship. So I'm just like, again, I'm not jumping ship. I'm not saying this show is terrible or anything like that, but I'm just saying those are my gripes that I have with the show. And then obviously with the Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil being insinuated, swinging, I'm like, bro, come on, man, come on. So again,
What's up?
I like the season. I don't want y'all to think I don't like the season. I like the season. I like
Oh,
the
we know.
show.
Oh, we know. Yeah, shit, we know the next season.
Those are just I just have major problems with it. It's not like season 1 to me was wow, that was great. I was not expecting that. They really did that well. Season 2 it's like okay, they could have done better. And season 3 it's like I like it, but
So, yeah. So do you think? Well, I guess we'll get look like Erica. Hold up, she's got some stuff going on here too. Hold on. You want me to pull them up? Or
she
you want to pull
said
them up?
y'all ain't like the ending.
I did.
There's certain parts of the ending that I didn't like, which is the Lamarcus passing out thing or possibly dying. I didn't like that part.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like Will. I'm about to say Will Smith. I like Will getting kidnapped. And then Aunt Viv being pregnant. Didn't they? Yeah, because they didn't have Nikki, right?
Yeah, that's true. They did. Yeah.
In the show.
Yeah. They had Nikki in the original.
Yeah, so Aunt Viv being pregnant. I mean, I'm not really mad about that. Aunt Viv being pregnant. I mean, she fine as hell. So I mean, I kind of get.
I mean, like, it was going to happen anyway, you know. Makes sense. Yeah, I could say pretty much the same. Like, I didn't like. I'm still on the fence about Jeffrey leaving, honestly, mainly just because I don't know. I fuck with Jeffrey, and
I love that character, man.
And also, he's going to be back clearly because Will got kidnapped. So like, he's not really leaving yet, but he was really about to leave. So I don't know. But yeah, I mean, overall, I did like the ending, I think. Wait, you said season 3 is better than season 2? Erica said season 3 is better than season 2. What do you think? You think it's better than season 2?
No,
I don't think I do either.
I like season 2 better than season 3, but I like season 1 better. I like both of the seasons. So
I would agree with that, and I think season 3 had some episodes that were better than some episodes in season 2, but. As you say, his weak ass family can go back to London. I'm weak. Right. I wish you would have hopped in earlier because we talked about like a lot of this already. But yeah, that's funny.
Jeffrey, I like the character Jeffrey. My top 3: Phil, Jeffrey, Jazz, and then after that you got honorable mention Will, and I have to go with I'd probably go with Hillary just because they haven't gone that far yet with her being kind of annoying yet. She still has the whatchamacallit, the social media stuff. She still has that house, right? The social media house. So
I don't know, bro. I don't know. They didn't mention it in this season.
Well, she was still chilling there though, because remember she had that assistant that was walking around with the little.
True. Yeah, she still got the assistant. Yeah.
I gotta say, man. Oh yeah, I do have to talk about the casting. There's 2 issues I have with casting we're going to talk about here. Well, we kind of already did, but we'll talk about. I'll touch on it again before we end this. But and obviously we go through our final thoughts, obviously. But the casting on the show is freaking amazing. The women on the show.
Oh yeah.
The women on the show are absolutely fucking beautiful, man.
Yeah, they did a great job.
Because from Hillary, her assistant, her friends,
they did a great job.
Her friends. even Erica could get it. Like, I mean, not Erica Vane, not you. I'm talking about the Erica character.
Yeah, all of it. She said,
But
"I know
yeah,
what time you want." Hold up, hold up. What you mean? Because look. Here's the thing with Uncle Phil, right? At the end of the day, she said Phil's a mess, just starting out to get shit right. He's big stressful. I mean, look, I get that, but that's the stress of being a powerful man.
yep.
That's why he's so damn stressful, because he got all that. He got more responsibility than we could imagine.
Yep.
In that show. You're going to have some shit fall through the cracks, and that's why you need a guy like Jeffrey to make sure you keeping your shit like they really wrote him like a mogul type guy.
Yep.
They really did, but also like a wholesome family guy at the same time. But he's got to be about his shit. So like there's like shit that comes with that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Phil's for me, he's my favorite character on there too.
Yep.
I think my next one's
balance very well. They balance his character so well.
I think so. Yeah. For what he's supposed to be, you know what I mean? Like he's supposed to be that uber rich, uber powerful family man, like,
Yep.
like you said, yeah. But he's getting shit right with Viv now. He's getting shit right with Viv. He's getting shit right with the business shit.
Yep.
Getting shit right with like, the community shit, 4, like reaching out.
Season 4, he about to team up with Jeffrey. They about to be on that Ghost and Tommy shit. They about to go get Will back.
Some Ghost and Tommy shit.
They about to get Will back.
That's funny.
Hey, Erica, next season, I'll invite you on. Next season when we had a review. But hey, man,
it's.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. My bad.
I was gonna say just from Will and that whole love triangle to the Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil stuff, the whole swing stuff, the Ashley dynamic to the whole thing. And to be honest, I don't know what these writers. Another thing with the writers, I don't know what they were thinking with the whole, like, you really think about it, everything's a fucking love triangle, except for maybe Carlton.
Well, yeah, because I guess so.
Even Ashley, she had the girlfriend, and now
yeah,
and that might come bite her in the ass. So
yep. Phil had Erica and Viv, even though even though again, I'll say this again, he never was fucking with Erica like that, because if he was, he would have reacted differently when she kissed him. He never fucked with her like that. He did. Maybe he did in college, but not not in the show.
And they showed it.
Yeah, and they showed it. Yep. Will had Jackie and Lisa. Hillary had Jazz and Lamarck. I mean, it's like love triangle here. Like each love triangle had its own inner conflicts and dialogues, and then they would enter. So like I could see them like putting a bunch of circles up on a board and be like, all right, how can we get this triangle to interject with this triangle and have the, you know what I mean? Like I could see them totally doing that when they're writing it.
Yeah. And Erica says he should have been in his office drinking and working with her whole ass though.
I mean, that's a good point, but they had business together.
I'll tell you
at that point.
I'll tell you who shouldn't have been office drinking, and that was these writers.
I feel you on that.
Because some of these episodes, you're like, man, how does this and this like, come on. They have conference rooms for a reason. So I mean, look, if there's one last thing I want to talk about before I give we give our final thoughts on this, it's just the casting of Carlton.
Yeah,
I've already touched on this on why I'm leaning towards not liking the character as much as I did in the first 2 seasons, and also compared to the original show, way less. So, in season 1, we had our season 1 review a couple years ago, or I guess that might have been maybe a year and a half ago. These seasons go by so fast, but we had our season 1 review, and I kept handling the fact that Carlton is not Carlton. Like I kept saying, like,
right,
why did they cast this guy? Like everybody somewhat is relatable to what they at least looked and kind of acted like a little bit to where they were in the original show, except for Carlton specifically. And we didn't know too much about Ashley then, so I couldn't really say Ashley at the time. So it was just Carlton. But at least Ashley, the casting is there for what you need her to do. Carlton, not so much. I'm still trying to figure out, like, where did they, again, no disrespect to the actor or anything like that. I dude's a phenomenal actor. But I'm sitting here thinking, like, why Cassius got to do this shit to play this and then have him do all this feminine, like, the casting of this character, I just have to point it out, man. I like the guy as an actor, but I just think the casting was just off and wrong.
Really? So
Again, I'm gonna say it because nobody else is like. Again, maybe nobody else thinks it, but I know there are some people a lot of people that were questioning the casting of this dude when the show first came out. I'm just the only guy that's still thinking that. So
that's fair.
I'm sorry,
Fair.
be the bearer of bad news, but I just don't think that it's a good casting. Again, he's a talented dude. I get what you're saying, Erica. Talented guy, but I just don't like with the way they're going with the character, and we can already kind of see with the all the feminine stuff, and it's been a constant thing for 3 seasons now, and I'm still trying to figure out. I cannot pinpoint what it is, but I don't like this character. Anxiety, the drug, like the way the mannerisms they have this guy doing,
blindly believing everything his woman says.
Yeah,
when clearly she's lying to his face and he didn't pick up on it multiple times. That's some feminine shit that he did.
and go back to just that particular part where he's sitting in that room before they have to do the business presentation, right? And he's sitting there like, where's the mirror? I need a mirror. I'm like, come on, man. Like,
what did you say to a mirror?
Of course. I like the character Carlton.
Will, it's all your fault.
Yeah. I don't know, man. But that's my only gripe with that. In terms of like casting and all that stuff, it's just the Carlton character. We know why they casted Eli. I'm not going to get into all that right now, but because we already talked about that earlier with the whole Ashley storyline. But those 2 castings, but mainly the Carlton casting, I'm just like, I just don't see it, man. No. So I'm not gonna get it too much, but I know that those type of men exist. I'm just saying I don't know if they, for the character Carlton, that was already somewhat kind of on that line anyways to a lot of people, and then for them to go this route with him in this remix version, no, sorry. Hey, shout out to Realist One, by the way. He says, peace to the platform. Bel-Air is my ish. Shout out, man.
Yeah, shout out to you, bro. For sure. On the Carl thing, again, we talked about Carlton earlier in the show. But just to briefly touch back on it again, they portray Carlton as a rich, spoiled, anxiety-riddled drug addict. Like, yes, these type of men and people exist. Who also like can't handle his own emotions, probably because of the drugs, which then furthers the anxiety and then the emotional instability and all that other kind of stuff. So yeah, original Carlton did blame Will for everything, was jealous of Will and all this and that. This Carlton still has gotten over some of that, but he hasn't gotten over his deeper issues that are still kind of come out. You know what I'm saying? And still kind of affect his relationships with other characters. That's all we're saying. Like, I mean, I guess, you know, like you said, it's with the times, right? You've got a lot of representation in here, and that includes the drug addicts with emotional problems, who in this case happen to be rich, and I don't know if you can say spoiled or not, but who happen to be rich.
So, Erica.
Wait, didn't Carlton try drugs one time in the old show? Didn't he get his hands on some coke though?
Yes, I do think so.
I think he did one time.
Was that the episode where he that was the episode where he jumped on stage?
He was on speed, right? Or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think When he was drugged though, I think in that one, right? Or did
or
he?
he was drinking and somebody or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
probably like
something he was
spicy
doing.
drink or some shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was something
But
he was doing.
but look, I didn't even mention the guy's colors. I don't know why you're saying the dark version, or unless
No,
you're
she's saying
saying,
like
or
dark
you're saying
energy
like,
version,
okay,
not like
dark, okay, like dark as in like, okay, gotcha.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, oh, I was like, everybody on the show is dark. Uh, no, I mean, you can do it. This is what I said, Erica, and Dan, you typing fast, by the way. But this is what I said in the season 1 review. I'm not even gonna say review. This is what I was saying about season 1, back when season 1 even first came out, which was that there's other ways of telling a darker character or a darker side of a character than to use drugs and alcohol, or to say that mental issues, because that I'm not saying that you're like mentally retarded if you have anxiety, because anxiety is real. I know that, but what I'm saying is a lot of people use that as a scapegoat, probably including the people who wrote this fucking show. So I think that that's the reason why they wrote anxiety into Carlton's character, and drug abuse, drug abusing, and coke, and him wanting to always feel, I guess, the comfort of other people every second of the fucking day, or else he's gonna go insane. I think there's other ways you can write darker characters, because we've seen it done before. I'm not saying he needs to be some kind of drug lord or anything like that, but at the same time, like, fam, I mean, I like the parts where he's succumbing under pressure and he's just like, man, it's just all this stuff's weighing down on me, because they do Will. That's why I say Will and Uncle Phil are written really well as well, because when they have a lot of pressure, right? Will's constantly being pressured to do something. Uncle Phil is constantly under fucking pressure. Guess what? They're not doing all these things, but you're putting all these isms onto one character, and it's just I'm just like, I don't get how I can try and like this character when it's constantly being thrown in my face that this guy deals with like a million fucking issues that like all deal with pretty much, I guess,
Himself,
self doubt.
self value, self worth. Yeah.
Yeah, like again, I hate having to defend myself with this character, but I want to like this character so bad because Carlton was my favorite character on the original show. So it is what it is, you know.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Hey, Erica, I get what you meant now. You said, you said I was saying this Bel-Air versus a dark concept. Yeah. You talking the concept. I apologize. She said, I would hope drugs would be involved if a black man allows white people around him to use the N-word. I would hope there was an excuse.
I'm too weak. She talking
All
about
right.
the first season.
Oh yeah, from season
when
1.
they were rapping. Yeah.
I also think you are not supposed to like every character, but I get you. Yeah, of course.
Right.
That's what
Right.
film and all that's about differences and there's of opinion.
For sure.
All right, so let's get into our final thoughts, man. I'm gonna let you go first, bro. Final thoughts on this season and a possible season 4 of Bel-Air.
All right. Final thoughts on season 3. I think it was a good season. It was not the best. There were some misses, some hits, a lot of drama, a lot of love triangle, a lot of sexual innuendo, a lot of, questioning sexuality, questioning, breaking barriers, a lot of new ageism in it. A lot of a lot of all that shit. So, I mean, again, it's 2024, 2025. This is the reality for a lot of people. This isn't my reality, but it's a reality for a lot of people. And so I get it. A lot of people are going through the shit and going through the themes that they're putting into the show and writing into the show. So like I said, I understand that, but sometimes, I guess sometimes theater doesn't have to be the mirror of reality as much as we like to think it does. And because that does influence our perceptions. So just for that aspect, I'll say this season could have been a lot better. I still fuck with it. I still fuck with the show. I still fuck with all the characters. I have ones I don't like, but at the end of the day, I mean, I'm ready for season 4, bro. Like like I said, let's see what happens with we gotta see what happens with Lou and Will's mom. We gotta see what happens with finding Will, I guess in that case too.
Yeah.
We got to see what happens with obviously Jeffrey's going to come back and help find Will. He's got to at this point. I want to see how they're going to kind of introduce that into it because he had already dipped, left a note for Uncle Phil, and now Will's got. So, and I don't think Will told anybody where he was going either. So,
Yeah, so
that's
probably gonna be missing for a while.
yeah. Did LaMarcus die? That's another thing. Did LaMarcus die? I don't know. I really don't know. Because I could totally see him dying, and then they write Jazz back into, Hillary agrees for 2 or 3 episodes, and then Jazz, swoops back in a little bit, and then they end up doing their thing. Who knows? Or I could see LaMarcus living too, and then being kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. This might be the last we see of LaMarcus, dude. I don't know. It's gonna be tough.
Eric could talk about messy, man. That would be so messy if they kept that nigga alive, bro.
Yeah. Having him pretty much die twice in one season and come back for another season, that would be messy as shit.
He said dying twice in one season.
He died on the field and then he died again in the bed keep in mind, after drinking mimosas in the morning. Keep that in mind. So like if you have the dude die twice in one season and come back for another season, I mean, you might as well keep his ass in the show. You know what I mean? So but if you notice, the love triangles are starting to break up a little bit. Yeah. Things are starting to the waters are starting to calm ever so slightly on the it's like everybody got all the wild shit from their relationships out of their system in the season. You know what I mean? Like Uncle Phil and Viv, they had the little swinger shit. You know what I'm saying? Ashley likes a guy who thinks he's a girl but likes guys but likes girls or whatever the fuck that is. So she's doing that.
He don't even know if he's a girl or a guy or whatever the fuck. So yeah, that's a whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
So
and shit. Jackie, she's pretty much gone. I mean, who knows if we'll see her again? So we'll see you on the other side, Jackie.
Hey, tell Harambe I said, hey, Jackie.
Right. She low key messy too, though. So like, she for sure messy. So look, man, it seems like some of the drama is kind of buffing itself out a little bit. Season 4 is gonna be interesting though.
Yeah,
for sure. Interesting.
Fucking season 4, man.
And it's gonna be like their senior year. Ashley's starting high school and all this shit. So it's gonna be a lot more new drama too. So yeah, those are my thoughts, man.
I sound like a disappointed dad whenever I hear Ashley starting fucking high school, man. I'm just like, I'm just like, just a side, just like, fuck.
Yeah.
God damn it. Some more fucking BS for Ashley to fucking start. And you see the way she treated her friend too at the beginning of the beginning of the season. The way she was treating the chick,
the little blonde chick.
Yeah, at her house. No, was she blonde? I don't think she was blonde, but the white girl at her house. I remember she was being an asshole to her.
She was definitely being an asshole to her. Yeah, for sure.
I was like, man, they're gonna make her super fucking asshole in season 4. Watch.
Mm-hmm.
I
mean, she's getting by the episode. Ashley is.
Yeah, like, but I'm still looking forward to season 4. Like, don't get me wrong, man. Season 4 is gonna be this season. Like I said, this season started out lit because I watched the first 2 episodes and I was like, okay, all right, we're back in it. It got some storylines kind of brewing, a little, whatever. And then you're thinking it's gonna be predictable, and it's not.
And it's not at all.
Some of those ways, it wasn't so good in terms of it not being predictable. But other ways, it was like, okay, I see where y'all going. I'm picking what y'all putting down. All right. That's why I say, like, some of these episodes, you're like, it's kind of tough to get through. But other episodes, you're like, man, like, I can't believe that was I went through 2 episodes already. All right, bet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they definitely set up some fireworks for season 4. So we definitely gotta we gotta see what they got. And I don't know, Jaren, do you know? Did you already look up to see if they renewed for another season?
No, let me do it real quick. I haven't seen officially yet.
Erica says, thanks for responding, guys. Have a great night and keep up the great commentary. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And while Jaren's looking that up,
Appreciate it.
yeah, we appreciate it. While Jaren's looking that up, I will be live streaming a little bit more. In terms of videos, I know I came out a while back, maybe a month or so ago, and said I was going to be doing videos. I'm probably not going to be doing videos, guys. Sorry. I got way too much shit going on in my personal. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. So don't think anything's like bad. I'm not, but in good ways that I'm just way too busy now to just stop and do videos and stuff like that. So I don't want to. Obviously, I want to under promise and over deliver to you guys. I don't want to over promise and under deliver to y'all.
There we go.
I got over 1,000 subscribers on here, so I don't want to fucking that. I'd be treating y'all like shit if I did that. So obviously, I'm not gonna do that. So, but I am keeping my word that I will be live streaming a little bit more, whether that's video games or whether that's going to be doing actual topics and shit like that. But in terms of actually editing and videos and all that stuff, it's just way too much time for me to do. So I won't be doing that. So Jerry, you got the news?
So it is not officially renewed, but if it is going to renew, it's going to come soon, and it would likely arrive, fall 2025.
Oh yeah,
but
because it takes them no time to fucking film this shit. It's not like
right,
they're using CGI and shit like that. So it's like
right. And the main cast would apparently come back as well. So like, I don't think anybody doesn't want to make the season. Yeah. I think it's just a matter of they haven't renewed it yet. But yeah, officially no official renewal as of yet for season 4, which would be trash if they don't renew it. I'm sorry, they would do themselves a huge. Peacock would literally miss out on a bunch of money,
bro.
If
the traffic they haven't going through Peacock for over the past month, whether it's been Bel-Air, WWE, they got some new movie on there now too. Like, look, I'm not a big fan of Peacock at all. But they, like Jaren said, they're gonna be doing themselves a big fucking disservice if they don't renew.
Absolutely,
big disservice.
Absolutely.
Because that's what a lot of people have fucking Peacock for. Is literally that
for Bel-Air. Yeah.
So, yeah. But
and what little bit of soccer they show.
If I have to give this season a grade, I'm going to give this season. I'll give it a solid C+. That's what I'll give it.
I was actually going to say a B. I was going to say B.
Okay.
So I'll give it a B. Not a B+. I'll give it a B. Yeah, I'll give it a B. B- is also like acceptable. There's no such thing as a B-, I guess, is it? I understand.
Yeah.
I can get a B-, can't you?
I gave it a C+.
Yeah, true. I guess you can get a B-. But yeah, I'll give it a. I'll give it a B-. I changed my mind. B-. I changed my mind.
Oh man.
I changed my mind.
Well, man, Jane, you got anything to say before we get out of here?
No, man, it's good to be back on here casting, man. Shit, it's been a minute. Like I said, we both got a bunch of shit going on. You know what I mean? In personal life, nothing bad, of course. Just motherfuckers just making moves, man. Times are changing. I mean, we ain't been on comrades. We're on our little. What's that?
It says 2024, y'all. We gotta make moves, man.
Right. This was a year to make moves. Real shit. Yeah. Had to fucking do something. Shit. Big major facts. But yeah, man. Hopefully we'll be back on the comrade soon. We're still on our little hiatus. But this is one of them small steps back towards both of us getting back on the camera, either on our joint channel or separate channel. You know what I mean? So
mega facts.
Yeah, this was a good this was fun, and I'm glad that this season wasn't a complete disaster, because I'd be really disappointed if that was the case. So
yeah, and again, it's not like any. I want to reiterate, just so people, because I already know some people might have a narrative that I just completely shit on this fucking season. I like this season. It's just not as good as YouTube. So just remember that, man.
And I would agree to that. Yeah.
But yeah, man. Jaren, again, thank you for coming on here, man. As usual. And make sure y'all hit that like, hit that subscribe, all that good stuff. It's your boy Corn. It's Big J. Ladies and gentlemen, We are OUT.